Welcome to the free personal finance lessons. This is part of a series of free lessons on how to manage your personal finances here in Kenya. If you haven't already, watch the introduction video lesson and lesson 1 so that you can get context for this lesson. As I was saying in the previous lesson, what you're seeing right now is actually an old bank account setup that I have been lazy to change. But since they were already open, I kind of created a hybrid system that works for my needs. I think everyone needs a savings account. May not need as many as I have currently, but as a rule of thumb, it should be at least 1 month's expense in your savings account. This comes in handy, especially when you have standing orders and or when you want to have a buffer for your expenses readily available to you. The rest of your money should be in a money market fund as they offer high returns without compromising on liquidity. That is because you can withdraw your money from a money market fund and get your money within a maximum of 3 working days. Again, it pays to have the same bank account as your money market fund. So for example, since I use Sanlam Money Market Fund, then having a Stanbic account eliminates any bank charges when I send money to my MMF, and that transaction is instant. I also receive cash withdrawn much faster since Sanlam also banks with Stanbic. Now, I no longer have a lot of money in the Stanbic holiday account I had opened. This is because I opened these sub-accounts with money market funds for different goals. For example, I have one where to save money to go on holiday, another that acts as an emergency fund for my investments. I'll actually cover that concept in another video, but a quick summary is, for example, if I've purchased a stock and it's performing very well and I think it's overvalued, I'll sell it and then I'll put the money in the money market sub-account. That way, the money can be earning interest as I wait for another opportunity in the market. I also use it to hold dividends that I'm paid. My experience, especially in the Kenyan stock market, has been after the book closure date, most dividend stocks normally fall because many people are only chasing the dividends. So my trick has been, and it has been working for a while now, I'll wait for the dividend to be paid and then move the money to the MMF sub-account for my investments. I never panic. So I won't sell the underlying stock as it falls post-book closure. The dividend can be earning interest in the MMF as I wait for an opportunity to reinvest in the stock. This is especially important for me when I believe in the long-term value of the underlying stock. By the way, reinvesting your dividends is the way to ensure compound growth using stocks in Kenya, but that's a lesson for another day. Finally, I have a money market fund sub-account that acts as an emergency fund for my expenses. I started off with 3 months expenses, then went up to 6 months, and then up to 1 year worth of expenses. This really gives me comfort and peace that I can weather any financial storm that may come my way. That said, at any one time, I may have more money than 1 year's worth of expenses in my money market fund. This is because I don't like to leave money in my current or savings account other than the 1 month of expenses pointed out earlier. This is because it doesn't make sense when you have a money market fund to leave money in the bank as per the reasons pointed out earlier. Finally, you'll see I have a section for cash and M-Pesa. I try to have as little as possible here. This is because, first of all, it's not safe to walk around with a lot of money in your pocket or in your M-Pesa. Also, in the case of M-Pesa, there's no need to maintain a big balance as I can quickly send money from my bank to M-Pesa at no cost. Also, as I pointed out earlier, M-Pesa can be quite expensive to transact with, so I try as much as possible to avoid it. There's obvious exceptions to this rule, as for example, when there's a free pay bill or if the transaction is below the threshold for charges. And that's it. That is the first section of your net worth tracker. The next step is for you to set up something similar for your finances. That way you're set up for the next video lesson. Remember, we'll build your net worth tracker incrementally, so by the end of video lesson 6, you should have a complete net worth tracker that is proven to work in Kenya. If you have any questions or you'd like to appreciate the free lesson, leave a comment below. I've set up time just to engage with people in the comment section. The next lesson will cover the second section of your net worth tracker, and it's all about getting your money back. I'm excited for the insights you get for free in that lesson. So see you in the next one, and here's to your financial freedom.